what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Follow the Word Youth podcast. This is Jonathan here with, and then this episode we're gonna be having a recap of season 1. You know,
finally,
yeah.
I'm done.
You know,
so tired.
It's recording after recording, and then just a lot of just.
How many episodes?
Together
12.
time.
We had 12 episodes.
13.
13. Yeah.
I think so. I hope so. 13 episodes. So, you know, this episode is just pretty much talk about season 1. You know, just for a little bit before we do our first dual episode to finish off season 1, which is what is your purpose in life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about this season? Let me just ask that, you know, like overall, like what do you think, you know?
I think specific. You have to be specific because I think a lot of things.
Like, you know, how was your experience in this season? Like, you know, recording with the team, you know, leading this team.
Tiring.
You find us tiring? You're tired of us or something?
Everything. I'm tired. Everything just makes me tired. School on top of podcasts is tiring. Trying to lead this podcast, tiring. Recording on Saturday morning, tiring.
So you're just tired of this podcast
I'm
or something?
I mean, I love the podcast, but like I'm tired.
What do you love about this podcast?
Everything.
Like what? Like be specific about
There's
it.
no specificity, whatever it's called. Y'all need to shut up. Like I said, I'm tired. Okay. What's the word? Specificity? Yeah, specificity. There's no specificity required.
Specificity.
Okay. Anyways, the topics. I feel like the topics you choose are pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. Like these are things like they're interesting to talk about. Not like we don't like talk about over the same thing over and over again.
That's good.
Know?
And then the fact that we had different topics too. Like I didn't know that we were gonna come up with these good topics and still like be good on top of them. It's crazy because when I first started this thing, I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? What is our purpose of doing this podcast, right? And then I was like, okay, what topics are we gonna talk about? And then I was like, okay, real life situations, you know, like living in a world full of like sin, you know, temptations, a lot of bad stuff going around the world. What is it like being a Christian and all of those? So pretty much I was like, okay, in these areas, let's pretty much just talk about it, like mental health, you know, family, you know,
things
what else?
that are not usually talked about in the church. Or things that like when they're talked about, they're only talked about in a certain way.
So let's tell them the story about how we came about. You know, it took us a long time.
They heard the story like a bazillion times.
It took us a long time to start this thing.
6 months.
No, it was more than that. It was almost a year. Yeah. It was almost a year to start this thing. You know, we originally planned this in 2020, and the idea came up in
November of 2020.
And then we were on and off about it. Like we wanted to do it, and then we didn't want to do it, and it's just boom, 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 back and forth, right? So by 2021, I remember like David, he called me, right? And then he was like, you know what? I'm tired of this back and forth. We need to start this thing. I'm gonna ask my dad about the equipment. We need to start this thing. And then I was like, okay. And that's what kind of motivated me and the team to like really start this thing, because you know this is a true blessing that we can bring onto people. And then the fact that we have the resources, we have the people to be able to support us, that's what kind of drove us to do this.
Shout out to the parents who's driving their kids on Saturday morning.
Yeah, shout out to all of them.
Because gas money's high.
Especially what's going on. Nah,
my pockets are hurting. I need gas money anyways. I'm just playing.
It'll come around eventually, so.
I'm just playing. I got gas money. You know, I joke about that all the time. I be coming up to people like, can you give me some gas money?
Especially my dad, too.
Why is everybody saying no? Like,
because
that means y'all don't care for real.
No, that
means y'all don't care.
No gas money, bro.
That means y'all don't care for real. Like, I don't need it, but like, just me asking and you saying no right away, like, dang.
So we started this in October 10, 2021. And
I don't know. I don't remember the day. I know it was in October.
Oh, yeah. I remember it was October 10. I remember it because during that time was my sister's birthday. So, like, yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me start this thing before my sister's birthday so I can use that week to celebrate my sister. So, yeah, it was October 10, 2021. And we did What is Flow the Word Youth. That was our first episode. And later on, we just kept
Let's not talk about the first episode.
That one was crazy. But aside from that, even from the craziness, even from all of that, we still learn from our mistakes. And then that's how we got better over time. Even listening back to the episodes and remembering that day and how we, developed that day and all that type of stuff. I got emotional because, like, dang, like, look at how far we've came, and we actually did start this podcast, One day I was gardening with my dad, and I know this is gonna
gardening.
No, that's not the word, but I was.
Hello. You planting flowers?
I was planting with my dad, right? And then it was like that time of year that we were have to plant our flowers and our fruit and our vegetables and all that. So my dad,
you guys have a garden?
Yeah.
Okay, so continue. I didn't know that.
So my dad was teaching us how to put the seed in and all that type of stuff, and after we were done, he said that because there's trees in our backyard, and then he said that one seed was what made that tree grow that big, and then every single tree in our backyard, it take only one seed. So that kind of hit me, right? Like, I was like, whoa. Because I don't know if the Holy Spirit was trying to talk to me or it just hit me. And my dad, when my dad kept talking about it, like, oh, this seed grew this tree, this seed grew this tree, I just started to smile, right? And then usually with my dad, whenever he just talks and then he looks at me and then he just started seeing me smiling and all that, and I was like, and he knew what he was doing too, so he just kept talking about it, that it took only one seed to grow that big.
You know
of a
what
tree.
I've gathered? You've taken a lot from your dad.
Oh yeah,
you quote your dad a lot. It's kind of nice.
That's
like a lot of your dad be teaching.
Yeah,
a lot of things.
My dad's a wise dude.
That you be quoting, and like I noticed that.
Yeah. So one thing, so I took it personally, and I just said that this podcast is a seed, and it takes time too, because it takes time for plants to grow. So it's going to take time for us to grow because we started small and all that, right? And it's going to take time for our podcast to grow, really, because, I mean, we start small. Yeah. So it's going to take time for this podcast to grow. And it comes by patience. It's how we take care of our plant also.
Right.
Because if we keep mistreating your plant, you don't water metaphor. It, all the, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's how we treat this podcast also. Are we going to treat it to help other people? Or are we going to treat it to just, keep saying controversial things? Or pretty much, yeah. So, and then also, you know how I said it takes time. It's gonna take time for us to grow. It's gonna take time for us. A lot of time, apparently. And then it takes our patience too. Because if we don't have that patience, then I mean, we're not gonna grow that much. Because if
low-key, I would be scared if we like blew up in one day.
Really?
Yeah, like if we started and like all of a sudden we was getting
like
much traction.
If you just get ding 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 on your phone.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't have notifications on because I can't be bothered by that. But secondly, like. I don't know.
It's scary it's scary to think of you being famous because like you're private. That's
I'm not trying to be famous.
Oh, not be famous, but like be
known.
Well known. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to talking about each episode. We had 13 episodes so far. 14 being this one, 15 being the next one. Let's talk about each episode. Pretty much just talk about what we talked about in that episode. What our experiences was, the behind the scenes. Pretty much just talk about it. You feel me? So first episode being what is full of the word youth. That is the first episode. That's how we started. There was a lot of miscommunication.
Next
all
topic.
That. Yeah. But besides from all of that, we still learned and we still came together as a team. And that's what kind of made us even stronger than before. Cause we had a lot of issues in this team, not gonna touch upon them, but we had a lot of issues on this team, and then we still were able to overcome that as a team, and that's what made us, connect even stronger. So in that episode, we pretty much just talked about full of the word youth, why we're doing this podcast in the first place, and why should people actually care about our podcast, and we talked about topics and all that type of stuff. We divided the episode in two. I hosted and you hosted. And then in that episode, I'm telling you right now, I did so bad. Whenever I say a lot, that's when you know that I'm really nervous. So I was saying left and right. So what is your behind the scenes or your thoughts of that episode?
Basically, I'm sure many people know this. Majority of the time, me and Jody were the one talking.
Yeah.
And like
I could tell.
I mean, I get why, because just like
you guys were
we're kind of more older, right? So we have more of the
Yeah.
background knowledge and stuff like that. So like when we're talking in the morning and Naomi were just like standing there like
what are they talking about?
or like they knew what we were talking about. It's just like we were so into it, like we were basically having a conversation with ourselves with each other. And like I mean, it was still good though, like, you know,
It was a good don't get it wrong, it was still good. It's just
you're just talking a lot.
I could tell y'all was having fun though. You and Jody just talking and like you just got carried away. Yeah, in mine's I did talk a lot, you know, because I'm that type of person to talk a lot. So Jeremiah and Alex were just, you know, there, you know. So like,
bye.
I'm joking. You know, they gave.
No,
they
you're not.
gave. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. Don't listen to her. But
Right.
you know, it was a cool experience. We got. Don't listen to her. Anyways, so it was a cool experience. We got food that day, which is good.
We did?
Yeah, we ate donuts, some fruits.
Oh.
We had like a little celebration that day.
I didn't eat.
Bro, I thought you ate that day.
I don't like donuts.
I thought you ate fruit that day. I thought you
They
ate
don't
some
have fruit that I like.
The ghetto.
How's that ghetto?
Cause I thought you ate that day. I remember
didn't
you
eat-
ate some. You ate some fruit that day.
I probably went to McDonald's afterwards though.
Probably, but I know you ate that day. I seen you eating that day. It was some fruit. I remember.
No, I'm
You
pretty sure
probably
they
did-
brought rice to church that day and we ate it.
No, we didn't. They didn't bring rice to church that day.
Then I didn't eat with you guys.
The ghetto. I know.
I know I
Anyways.
didn't eat. Okay.
I know she ate y'all. So like.
Okay.
All right, moving on to relationship versus religion. That was one of my favorite episode with you, Marine, and I think Alex, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was those three. It was three of y'all.
Like, even though I was a part of this recording things, all these things are like in the back of my mind right now. Right now, I'm focusing on AP calculus.
Yeah. So I remember in that episode, y'all talked about the difference between relationship versus religion. You know, relationship, in order for you to really get to know who Christ is and be able to get no more knowledge of God, you have to go through religion. But in order for you to technically, quotation marks, go to heaven, then you have to have a relationship with Christ.
Oh, that's not quotation marks. That's the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to get too deep into it because
Yeah.
I remember that episode. I was like really going into it.
Yeah.
But like,
You was popping off
basically,
that
yeah. You already know what it is. I'm saying. But and then, so basically, right, that episode was all about like how, a lot of people focus on more of the religion aspect of
Yeah.
Christianity and then the relationship part,
Yeah.
and that's what destroys a lot of Christians these days. Because like all these Christians are like, oh my gosh, you have to do this, this, and this, and this, and I'm like,
in order for you to be a Christian,
let's calm down, please. I'm tired. And I'm pretty sure I touched upon like social media, like
social media,
and
religion,
TikTok, and all those things,
Yeah.
right? So like I was talking about how like
Alex was being funny that episode.
and like basically, right? Like the way you look like as a Christian on the outside doesn't matter. It matters more of your heart, right? That's what God looks at. That's what God's gonna judge you upon.
Wants.
And that's what he wants. Like the relationship part here, basically, all in all, you know, the relationship is the focus here.
Yeah.
When you're pursuing
When you're trying
to live life as Christ,
Yeah.
right? The relationship, not the relationship.
That was a good episode. I love that episode.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
I was very passionate about that episode, you know.
You know, is the passion behind that episode is what I loved. The mental health battle. That episode we talked about.
Part one.
Yeah, it was the mental health battle part 1. It was me, Chima, Naomi, and you. And
I was there.
Yeah, you hosted the episode.
Sorry, I'm just, like I'm telling you, I forget all of these things. Like my mind is so stuck on school right now.
No, because what I be doing is like usually like.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Whenever I'm like bored, I just re-listen to our episodes to see like what I can do better, what I could say, stuff like that.
I remember now.
Yeah, so in that episode you hosted it, and it was me. That was my first episode in the pod episode. Yeah, so it was me, Chima, and Naomi. We talked about how important your mental health is.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that I think I mentioned this, like how it's kind of a taboo topic sometimes to talk about your mental health.
Like it's
I don't know
not
if that was
touched
I don't know if I
upon.
mentioned that in part 1 or part 2. Actually,
It
I
was
wasn't
part 1.
Yeah, part 1,
Part 2
right?
was the one I hosted.
Yeah. Okay, so in part
Yeah.
1 I talked about how like mental health is like it's sometimes taboo to talk about mental health because like there's people like struggling, like I've struggled we all struggled. Like
Yeah.
that's basically what we were talking about that episode. How we've all struggled. How sometimes it's hard to talk about those type of things.
And that there's
but
no
like,
perfect Christian. That
yeah.
There's some things
And
you're
that
gonna
like,
go through.
even though it's sometimes taboo to talk about it, like, thank God for my mom, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I love my mommy. Hashtag, you know. Shout out to my moms. I do this for my moms. What about my mom? Sorry, let me not keep doing that. And basically, like, I'm glad that I have my mom, that somebody I can talk to. Like, it wasn't always easy to talk to her, but like as time went on, like I was able to like keep telling her things, tell her what's on my mind, tell her what's up, you know, what's going on in life, what's going on in my brain and stuff like that. And I suggest talking to somebody.
Yeah, it's good. I have parents too that, you know, really helped me with my mental health, especially during 2020. We touched up on that too.
Actually, we talked about it. I was talking about how 2020 was my year.
Yeah, with God, because
until the end of it.
I said something about, in order for your mental health to increase, you need God. In order for you to be able to technically function in life and you know, be a living Christian. You need God no matter what, you know. And then we talked about how on fire we was for God that year, and then just basically just
2020 is my year.
2020
oh
was
my
a whole
God.
vibe. I'm not gonna
go
lie
back,
to you.
Please.
All right, next episode.
I'm being serious, but like it's okay.
We can't go back. 2023, 2024. So yeah,
2023.
Yeah, because you keep moving forward.
Oh, you're right.
We can't go back. Yeah. The Gift of Family.
I'm graduating next year. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
No, it's not. The Gift of Family. Moving on.
The Gift of Family. That was you, Maureen, Alex, and Naomi. You know what's so? I was supposed to host that episode. Yeah, you were. You hosted that one.
I swear. I half remember this.
No, I was supposed to host that episode, but you know, someone with basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Up.
Yeah, basketball.
I had a scrimmage that day, so I couldn't go. So that episode, we talked about how important family is in our lives. That's the first Christmas episode. You know, you guys talked about
gift
how
of family. Yeah.
You guys talked about how important family is. You guys talked about memories you had with your family.
Oh yeah. And I remember now. It was me, Alex, Naomi, and Maureen.
Yeah.
And I was arguing with Alex and Naomi. Okay,
y'all was talking about y'all share rooms, and then Alex has the only room.
I remember.
Y'all talked about how you guys didn't have no knowledge of sports,
and then we were complaining about each other.
That was a funny
Maureen
episode.
was complaining about Bubba, and Bubba wasn't here.
I was
got
dying laughing, but like that was the most funniest episode that I've listened to. Well,
I love my family. Hashtag family forever.
Family for life.
Yeah.
Lifers.
FF4L.
Yeah.
Or F4L. Hello. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. So
next episode. Next episode.
The birth of Jesus Christ. That's the
Christmas episode. Yeah.
Yup. The Christmas episode. That's the episode I first hosted in. We talked about, without the birth of Jesus Christ, how would we be able to have the joy to celebrate Christmas?
And like we wouldn't be here, basically.
Exactly. We wouldn't be here if Jesus Christ wasn't born. We talked about, Emmanuel was just, oh my God. Like, he talked about how families are more important. No, he didn't say that. He said gifts were more important than family. And then we were just talking about which one's more important in Christmas. Then we were just laughing, just vibing, having fun. That episode was really funny.
Point of correction. The most important is Jesus.
We said God. Family.
Oh yeah, he rated it, and he said God, gifts, and family.
No, he didn't even put God first the first time. We had to we corrected him. We corrected him, and then he was saying no gifts, and then food, and then family. I'm like,
yeah. That's exactly what he said. That was so
good. So we switched it up a little bit. Then after all the laughing and us having fun, we all came down to the conclusion that we need to thank God, or we need to thank God that he made that day happen. So that's that episode. Then another episode that I hosted was social media and technology. That one was a good episode,
You, Jeremiah.
It was me, you, and Maureen.
I was for that episode too?
Yep.
Oh.
Pretty much for like the first half, you were in most of these episodes. Yeah.
I really don't remember that.
But it was
the social media one?
Yeah, and technology. Me, you, and Maureen. I think Naomi was in that episode too. I think so. But we talked about how we technically put social media over God, and how much of a social media.
Yeah, how we accidentally do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
How
okay,
much
yeah,
social
yeah.
media have like a chokehold on us sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. and
Actually,
then-
yeah.
and
The
then
time when I
how-
used to
and then
spend
also-
6+ hours on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't do that no more. Hashtag growth. Now it's Instagram Reels. I don't care if you
Oh
guys make
my
fun of me for my
God,
Instagram
bro.
Reels. I don't care. I don't
Instagram
care.
Reels is getting boring for me though. But technology, we
that's
talked
you.
about how technology has like a control over us nowadays. But you know, we tend to use technology.
Oh yeah, and we were
Yeah.
talking about social media religion too.
Mm-hmm.
How it's all fake. Don't let random people pray for you
Yeah,
on social
online.
media because you never know.
I had
It
to-
may seem like a good prayer, but at the same time, that's not true.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. And then also, I said something like that was like my favorite quote out of the whole season. I said, "Technology can't control me; I can control you." Something like that. But we're talking about how we can control. We are able to control technology. That we have domain over everything. God gave us that power, so we should be able to control, technology and have that mindset over control technology.
Right.
So that episode was a good one. Then also episode number 7 was.
Oh wait, one thing I want to say first. You see how we
Mhm.
look at how we are putting our piece in technology. I mean, social media, like, because we
Social media
are
and technology,
posting.
exactly.
We are posting. We are being the opposite of what we don't want to be on social media and technology.
I told you
we're positively affected.
Exactly.
Yes.
I told you we have control over it. So if once we have that control, we can benefit other people because people tend to use technology to hurt other people, to kill other people. So I mean, we have that control, So that's all I could say.
And then
Episode number 7.
Yes.
Why do we forgive? That episode I learned a lot from David and Alex.
Yeah.
I learned how.
Okay, first episode I wasn't in that I remember.
Yeah. Next episode you were in it though.
Oh.
But episode 7 it was why do we forgive? How powerful forgiveness is. We talked about that. Then we talked about certain occasions. We talked about in the area of death. Should we forgive that person that have killed our significant other? Then Alex said something very powerful that yes, no matter what, because if God was able to forgive us for Jesus dying for our sins, then we should be able to forgive that person that have killed our significant other. Even though it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of healing, because healing doesn't take one day to get away. It's going to take time, but you still have to find in your heart to forgive. And we're just talking about different scenarios and why it's important for us to forgive. Next episode is our favorite episode, music and Christianity. That was the episode
right.
you,
Yeah, I was
David, and
in there.
Emmanuel
Yeah, I remember
did.
that one.
Yeah, that one was a fun episode. That
Because we was talking about what we listened to,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them said Lil. I was like,
Is that
no,
Lil Baby, Lil Uzi?
no. I was like, I asked one of them, do you guys listen to Lil Uzi Vert? And one of them goes, you don't. I mean, Marie, you gotta understand. I said, there's no understanding.
David.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to expose him, but you exposed him. Okay, it was David. He said, well, his music is good sometimes. I was like, no, but when you go to hell,
that's
Lil
that's on
Uzi
you.
literally said, if you listen to my music, you're going to hell.
And it's
like, of all the people to avoid,
he said, well, I don't know. Ever since I heard that, I stopped listening to this. But like before, I was like, nah.
Anyways, let's not talk about that.
But that was a funny episode. That was a fun
I like
and
that
funny
episode. I
episode
remember
too.
that episode.
Yeah, music and Christianity. Y'all talked about how music.
Oh,
can
I still
influence you
love
as a person.
Caleb Gordon. I'm gonna keep going back on this. Hashtag SoundCloud forever.
How many hashtags are you gonna do?
Because I don't think you guys understand. Like, I love SoundCloud. Like, my Spotify, I don't even use it anymore unless I'm trying to listen to other music. Like, if I'm trying to listen to Christian rap music, first of all, you guys have to listen to my SoundCloud playlist again, because I think you guys just listen to the back songs on the playlist. Like, it's not even a playlist, actually. Those were the songs that I liked since I've had SoundCloud for how many months now. So, like, the same songs that I liked before, I don't even like them now. So, I feel like my SoundCloud was given an unfair chance, and I'm gonna make you guys listen to it again.
Okay. I mean,
so yeah. Anyways, I still promote SoundCloud. SoundCloud sponsored me.
Pluck my ears,
If SoundCloud wants to give me a sponsorship,
sleeping,
I don't mind. Anyways, Moving on.
Episode 9, the health square. We talked about the 4 aspects of health. You know, originally I was gonna do the health triangle, and then you changed it up. Be like, it will make more sense to talk about the
health square.
Exactly,
because the spiritual side, the forgotten side.
Yep. So I look and forgot about that. Shame on me, but you know,
no, not shame on you. Everybody forgets
forgot
about it. It's just something like. We just don't think about it all the time, like especially because in school and health class they teach us about the health triangle, you know, social health. Wait, is it social emotional health, mental health, and then physical health.
Wait, it's social health, mental health, physical health, and then spiritual health.
We added that side, the spiritual health.
Spiritual health is the one that we added. So we talked about each one. We talked about mental, which was the one we talked about before. So we didn't touch up on that too much.
We
talked about how important mental is. You know, I talked about how mental correlates with what we do in our everyday activities. Like for me, mentally for basketball, you know, you need to be good mentally in order for you to be very well in basketball. We talked about physical, how it's important to not only just exercise and just, you know, get in shape, but also just take care of your body, because your body's the temple of Christ. We talked about the social health. It's not only about just talking to people, you know, how you talk to people, all that, blah, blah.
Love one another, all that, you know.
No, it's not of that.
All that good
it's
stuff.
how you surround yourself, the type of people you surround yourself with. You know, I surround myself with good people, you know, and if you surround yourself with good people, then you'll be able to succeed in life, because those are the good people that will continue to bring you up. But also, it's not only about bringing you up. You have to also bring them up with you also. So that's social health also.
None of my homies getting left behind. We all getting out there.
Then we talked about spiritual health, you know, ways to increase your spiritual health. Reading the Bible, you know, talking to God every day. At least going outside. Even if you don't believe in God, I mean, at least follow the stuff that you believe in. Don't miss out on it. You know, so we talked about that. Yeah, so that was the health square part 2, the mental health battle part 2.
I like that episode.
That was a good episode.
And next to the 10, relationship, religion, and music and Christianity. I like
episode
that
10, in the spirit, dealing in the spiritual realm. That was a good. In that episode, I learned a lot because
me, David, and Emmanuel.
That was a good episode. Yeah.
And
yeah. So,
I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling myself that episode. I was like, wow, the things are flowing. The brain is working. You know, the stuff was flowing. The episode was Gucci. You know, all of that. I think one of the things I remember the most is like when Emmanuel's talking about how in the spirit he gets sometimes, like when he says like when he's in church, you know, and he's like he's in the spirit, like nobody can talk to him, touch him, that type of thing.
No, he be doing that sometimes. Like whenever I be doing camera, I usually see him just closing his eyes, just worshiping in the music.
And hashtag shout out to Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's very personal to share that, because not a lot of people are able to share that, but the fact that Emmanuel was that bold to share it,
the way we were talking
props
about, like,
to
you know,
him.
One day, well, I'm not trying to be like Emmanuel, you know, I'm trying to be like Christ, but like you get what I'm saying.
I'm trying to be like there.
Yeah, I'm trying to be at that place where like it just comes to me. Like I'm not trying to force myself to do nothing or something like that. But it takes time. It takes cultivating, like practicing those type of things. You can't just expect one day and be like, oh yeah, I'm waking up speaking in tongues this morning. Like, oh no. Asking you shall receive, but that doesn't mean we'll receive it the next day. So so we're not express mail.
Yeah. Episode 11, God has a bad rep, but Christians are the problem. That was the one that we need to really talk about, because the way people
I feel so passionately about that topic. Don't even get me started. It irritates my soul, because I do not want to say that Christians are oppressed. No, I do not, because we are not oppressed people. But why am I getting bashed when I open TikTok? I'll be like, oh yeah, Christians, they pretend that they're good people, but they're actually not, or stuff like that. Like, I'm so tired of seeing that thing, because like I can't even be like don't. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking, because I'm gonna keep talking about it.
So that episode, Alex, you were actually passionate about that episode, because we were looking kind of getting ticked off, because the fact that there's other people that's giving me a bad rep. I mean, it's
like, just because someone acts a certain way doesn't mean that I'm gonna do the same thing.
Exactly. And then
it'd be making me scared. Like sometimes people will be like, "Oh, Marie, you're pro-life, right?" I'm like, you're pro. What's the other one? Pro-choice.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Oh my gosh. But like some people will be like, oh yeah, Marie, you're pro-choice, or like they'll be talking about like things like that. I'm just like, well, I'm pro-life, but then they're like, but when people look at you a certain way, it's not like I'm over here saying that, oh yeah, I support the laws that are restricting women from getting safe abortions. Like, no, not like that. I'm not that type of pro-life where like these women should not be like should be risking their lives to be doing things like that. Because I don't believe like if you wanna get abortion, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not gonna be pro-life. But the way I'm trying to be pro-life is like. Anyways, I hate that this is a political issue. Let's on top of that,
and it's a social issue too.
Yeah,
social media,
all of it combined. So like that's why I don't want to say my opinion anymore. Just know, yes, I am pro-life, but not to the extreme that some people are taking it, where they're creating laws to stop women from.
And that was
getting
the last
safe
episode
abortions
you hosted.
Yeah.
The season. Yeah. Because you haven't recorded in a minute too. Because I've been
busy with school. I've been volunteering. And then, child.
So the next episodes are next 2 episodes are the episodes I've hosted in. The episode 12 is the truth about addiction. You know, I touched upon how that's the devil's number one power over people, which is addiction. You know, we talked about different types of addiction. We talked about how to overcome your addiction a little bit. You know, because addiction, you can't fully overcome your addiction until you're really dedicated to. So we talked about that.
Yeah, commitment, consistency.
Exactly. So, and then Austin, he also made his debut. If I say album one more time, bro, I'm gonna get mad. But he made his debut episode. He really talked in that episode. Like he gave his personal experience, he gave his friends' experience. You know, and it was a funny episode still, because even though it's a sensitive topic, we still made that episode funny a little bit. You know, so yeah. That's that episode. We talked about pretty much what addiction really is, you know, because people tend to confuse addiction with a habit. People that's going through an addiction, with a habit.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so we just talked about the difference between those, because addiction is a habit that you keep doing,
but that's like
and
negatively
it's affecting you.
affecting you. Yeah.
Exactly. Habit is just a one-time thing that you just pick up, and then probably like later on you're just gonna get tired of it. You like biting your nails. You know, I'm getting tired of that too. Now, episode 13 is the fruit of the spirit. In that episode, we talked about the 9 attributes, like the power-ups of dwelling in the Holy Spirit,
and how they're kind of interconnected within.
All right, let me ask you this right now. Like, name some of the fruit of spirits that you remember on top of your head.
Love, joy, peace, faithfulness, gentleness, kindness, self-control. Hold on. Did I say goodness already?
I don't think so.
And hello. I swear I memorized.
She remembered 8.
I memorized this.
I only remember like
I memorized
5.
this in Sunday school how many years ago, along with the books of the Bible in order.
Yo,
so
me, David, and I only remember like 4 or 5 of them.
Wait, love, joy, peace, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness, goodness, self-control.
Wait, did you forget kindness?
I already said kindness. Okay, let's not take up too much time. Over here loading.
Yeah, so we talked about at night. We talked about each attribute. We talked about, I'm not going to name because I don't remember all of them on top of my head, but I think I have the notes, but it's going to take a long time. But we talked about that 9 attributes. We talked about how you need all 9. You can't miss out on one. I mean, come on now. If you want to dwell in the Holy Spirit, you have to be able to. You're still trying to figure it out?
Stop. Why you keep talking? Oh my gosh.
In order for you to dwell in the Holy Spirit, you need to have all 9. So yeah, that's what we pretty much talked about. We just brought it back, you know.
Can you stop? Okay, anyways.
she's still trying to remember that one more.
Moving
okay,
on.
Okay, we get it.
I'll
so you
Google
can
it later.
All right, episode 14 is the next episode. It's our first duo episode, which is kind of cool to end off the season, which is what is our purpose in life. Don't talk about it because they have to tune in next episode. So
Right.
We pretty much going to talk about what is your purpose in life, pretty much. Just turn to the next episode if you want more of that. So on a scale of 1 through 10, rate the season overall. Like, don't rate
mid. No, I'm just playing. I love saying mid, but I guess a 8. A cool 8.
Why?
Could have been better. A little rocky.
Yeah. I mean, it's
too many.
From the beginning of the season,
our posting schedule could have been better.
From the beginning of the
besides
season,
that,
we said that's a learning process, but season 2 is gonna change,
But I like this season because the topics we talked about, the stuff we did, like I feel like was really what we were aiming to do in the first place. Like, it actually turned out better than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if we were actually gonna like pull it off. Like,
Oh yeah.
what if we talk about this topic but not in depth or enough, or not according to the Bible or something like that. I was like really scared we're gonna get canceled one day. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah,
I'm still scared a little bit. But like, I guess Christianity is controversial, so
exactly.
I guess we're gonna get canceled anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Me personally, I'll rate this season an 8. Also, we did so good this episode. We didn't
so much better than I thought we was gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised we made it to the end of season one.
But we did so good. We touched upon the topics. We made it this far. That's the thing we have to thank God about. We made it this far, and we could do better. There's a lot of things we could do, and that's what we're gonna do for season 2. But it's overall
during the summer, whoo,
it's gonna be crazy. Trust me. Just stay tuned for that one. Don't talk about season 2. They have to like stay tuned for it. Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna rate ourselves for a second. You know how we did ourselves as leaders. You know, so like on the scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate yourself this season? Anyways, if you say that one more time, bro.
How I did as leader, 7.
Why?
Because I feel like school just really affected everything. Like, I already, like, it's not like I'm terrible at managing my time, but, like, I'm the type of person to, like, do something at the last minute. It's like, I know I have to do it. I'll do it. My time management's
terrible.
I'll do it, just not at the time you want me to do it.
My time management is like, terrible.
That really expects some things, and, like, I hate texting people. Like, I text certain people certain times, and like if you're not texting me at that certain time, then good luck. Good luck.
Good luck receiving my message.
No, like I it's not like that. Not like I won't receive your message, but like I'll see your text and like it's not that time for that, and then I'll ignore it, and it'll be like 6 hours later. I'm like, oh,
I feel bad. I don't be doing that. I mean,
well,
sometimes.
Yeah, I used to be the type of person to like. I swear, I used to be the type of person to like.
Respond in 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Like I see your message. Oh, somebody's texting me, and like now, it's so tiring to even like lift up my phone these days. Like I don't even want to lift up my phone. I don't even want to get out of bed. Like I just want to sleep.
Yeah. So for me, I'll rate myself a 7.5. A little bit. You know, I did good this season. Pretty much, it's just time management. That's what I gotta work on. You know, trying to communicate better. Also, that's also another thing I gotta work on. You know. Because I'm that type of person that, like, I just want to just get this done, like, immediately. But, like, in terms of, like, communication, like, I'm rocky on that a little bit. And then in terms of, like, leading this podcast and connecting with, like, the team members, I did very well. Because, like, I mean, you guys are, like, family to me. You know, I love each and every single one of you guys. So it's kind of easy to kind of lead it and also still be your friend and be there for you. So, yeah, it's 7.5 for me as leader of this podcast. So, rate the whole team's performance, like not the leaders anymore, because we're going to rate our...
Mid.
You know what? Let me just answer the question. I rate the team a 9 out of 10 because I love y'all so much.
No, I rate y'all mid.
Don't listen to her because she's just hating.
Mid.
But a 9 out of 10 because I love each and every single one of y'all. And the fact that y'all were patient.
He's sugarcoating it. It was really mid.
Y'all were patient.
Mid performance.
Patient enough to be able to do this podcast with us is crazy. It's not crazy, but it's really cool, you know. And I love... Anyways. So...
Capital M, capital I, capital T.
You don't have to spell it out, okay?
Y'all were mid. And I hope you guys listen to this podcast and hear me say that. Y'all are mid. Actually, I'll just send you the snippet of this.
No. Don't listen to her. I love you guys. You guys did very well. And then we're going to do better next for season 2. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of work for us to do.
I'll give my honest rating then. Mid.
You think you're funny, huh?
I am so funny. Literally the comedian of the group.
If you say mid for each other's one, bro.
I already did.
Anyways, so...
rating you?
Yes,
mid.
Rating each other.
Mid.
You're lower than mid. Anyways.
Mid. Okay, yes. Moving on then.
Anyways.
Next.
All right, so.
I think you already know my answer for the rest of this.
Anyways.
If you ask me another question of rating, it's mid.
Yeah, Marie's performance is good.
Mid.
Good.
No, just say mid.
I'm not saying mid.
Why?
Because you got me tired of that word. Anyways, yeah, Marie's performance is good. You know, I liked how, you know, she just took control because at first she was like, so like she took control over this podcast and she really helped me out because I was at a low point, you know, just not knowing what to do. But you had my back, and that's why I love you with a passion, you know. So thank you so much for everything, you know.
Mid. That's my rating. Mid.
So,
I feel like that sums up everything.
Anyways, so all right, so
yes, no, yeah, it does, right? Mid. I feel like
just
mid.
to think,
I feel like
just
mid
to
means a lot of things. If we're being honest.
All right, let me quickly think.
Sorry, let me stop.
Let me quickly think of a couple of people and conclude this episode off. First, I want to thank God. You know, without Him, this would have not been possible. I also want to
hashtag shout out to Big G.
Yep. Don't ever say that again.
Big G. What's wrong with Big G?
Capital
G.
Oh, G, capital G. Okay.
Big G.
So I want to thank the founder of Fully Word Youth, my dad, Mr. Yinka Rythmz. You know,
right.
He helped us.
He should sponsor us too. No, I'm just playing.
He did. No, he did multiple times.
No, I'm aware.
I want to thank him for making this possible, for giving us the idea, for making this idea come along, and for pushing us to our highest limits. I want to thank Pastor for being there, having our backs.
To Pastor Hezekiah.
Yep. Don't say Big P too, cause nah.
P. You mean H?
Pastor. Okay, yeah, H. His name.
Oh yeah.
Pastor Rosemary.
PH.
The mother of this podcast.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, P.
Don't use God's name.
You know
in
what?
vain.
Nah.
Hashtag shout out to Big PH.
No, stop.
Hashtag shout out to Big R. You know, she's a real one.
She's the mother of this podcast, and I want to thank her so much for her guidance, for her teachings, for just guiding us overall. You know.
Shout out to the technical team, which is really just one person.
Yeah, shout out to David. Yeah. Shout out to David.
Hashtag shout out to Big D.
Oh yeah, and then also
Day Day.
Yup.
Day.
I feel like you're just trying to annoy us at this point.
No, Oh yeah. Shout out to who else? That's it.
Yup.
That's it. Yeah.
No.
Shout out to the rest of the podcast team.
Yup.
Y'all did mid, but moving on. Shout out to Johnny. You did mid as well. Shout out to me because I'm literally the bestest person in the whole world. And I want to thank y'all for listening to this episode. Make sure you listen to our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at Follow the Word Youth Podcast. Make sure you find us on YouTube at Follow the Word Youth. Find our Instagram at Follow the Word Youth. And I'll see y'all another time, next week. I don't know when. But hashtag shout out to Big Marie.
No more hashtags. Let's end this. Bye y'all. Love y'all.